and welcome back to Cold-Blooded Clowns. My name is Danny, and today we are going to discuss part 4 of our vlog series, The Ultimate Investment, 90% returns by breeding ball pythons. And so far what we've done is we've taken a look at what I call year 0, and that is getting all of our ducks in a row and getting prepared for our first breeding season. So part 4 of this vlog series is going to start off with discussing the breeding season number 1, how do we determine which animals are ready to go, and an estimation of what we think we're going to produce genetically, and hopefully get some information about the potential revenue / profits we can make in year 1. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at the timeline for our Project Clown. First, I would like to talk about year 0 and recap what we have accomplished. So first, we planned our work and worked our plan, and that consisted of talking about startup costs, which was the equipment and all the animal husbandry needs that we had to put in place to take care of our animals appropriately. Then we went out and purchased our breeding stock. Then we touched base on our variable costs and also introduced genetics and how it was going to affect our project and our offspring moving forward. And finally, our job as breeders is going to make sure that our breeder females and male do have the proper body condition to move forward into year 1 and be successful in breeding. Before we move forward, I want to thank you all for sticking with the project and congratulate you, because I do understand that when planning out the project and talking about the cost, it is definitely not the most fun part of raising and breeding animals, but it is definitely one of the most important to understand within the project. So let's move to year 1 and start the fun stuff. So in year 1, we are going to talk about the year 1 breeding season. We're going to put together a mating plan. Then hopefully, if the mating plan is successful, we will have some discussions on egg laying, incubation, our first neonates or babies, and then pricing and selling of the animals. So now, if you remember, in part 2, we went out and purchased our female stock, and these are the 5 females that we currently have. Now, when deciding which females are going to possibly breed for season 1, it is important to consider 3 factors. Number 1 is going to be the age of the animal. Number 2 is going to be the weight of the animal. And number 3 is body condition. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is body condition. This is a plan, so we cannot tell the body condition of the animals at this point. The breeding season is approximately 10 months away, and at this time, we just don't know. All we can do is assume that we are going to do the best that we can do as breeders, and that the animals will not have any major setbacks and be ready to breed. So industry standard says that the animals should be at least 3 years of age or 2 years and going into their 3rd winter. Now, does this mean that the animal will definitely breed just because it's 3 years of age? Absolutely not. It's just an industry standard, and it's a benchmark that we will follow for our project. And the last criteria is going to be weight. Now, this is something that many breeders have different ideas on. Some breeders will tell you 2,000 grams is the weight they need to be. Others will say 1,500. Some breeders will even say, well, if the animal's around 1,200 grams going into the 3rd winter and the feeding response is good, they have a possibility of breeding that year. But for our project, we are going to stick with the 1,500 grams, and we are going to make assumptions that by breeding season, these animals should be very close, if not over that 1,500 gram mark. Now let's take a look at each female individually and see if we think they will be ready for year 1's breeding season. So this is our first female, and as you can see, I have listed some stats right below her picture. Now, these stats are based on when we purchased the animal. Okay, so when we purchased her, she was 900 grams and the date of birth was 2019. So what I did is put together some percentages that we can work with to understand where they are based on the benchmarks within the industry. So this girl at time of purchase was 66% of the age requirement and 60% of the weight requirement. Now again, she will have approximately 10 to 12 months to increase these numbers. So let's look how she stacks up compared to some of the other females. Okay, so female number 2, our blade clown, she was 1,300 grams when we purchased her, and the date of birth was 2019. So as you can see, she's at the 86th percentile regarding the weight. So I'm not really too concerned about her weight. I think that she will be ready within the next 10 to 12 months. And her age, again, she will be coming into that third winter. So I think that she has a very good possibility of breeding for year 1. Now our clown ball python, number 3. She is only 735 grams and she was born in 2019. So as you can see, her weight is below 50%. So we're not going to spend so much time talking about her. I don't think she'll be ready. Is there a chance? I guess there's always a chance if her feeding response turned on aggressively over the next 10 months. But at this point, we're going to say that she is not ready for season 1. So our next girl is ball python number 4. She's a clown. She was 900 grams when we purchased her, and she was born in 2018. So as far as age requirement, she is there. She's at 100%. Her weight, she's at 60%. Again, be that we're planning this 10 to 12 months out, I think that she is a very good candidate for breeding season number 1. And then we come to ball python number 5. She is our clown, 100% het pied. She actually is a proven breeder. And when we purchased her, she was 1,267 grams, date of birth 2017. So as far as age and weight go, she will be there no problem, and she was a proven breeder last year. So I have full confidence that we're going to breed her in season 1 and hopefully get a clutch of eggs from her. Now we come to our male. He is a pastel clown pied, and we are excited about this little powerhouse. When we purchased him, he was 200 grams, and the date of birth was 2020. So males are a lot different than the females. The industry benchmark is at least 1 year of age and over 500 grams. So we are confident that, again, as long as he doesn't have any setbacks with eating, he'll hit the weight and he will definitely hit the age. He will be over a year old when it comes time for next year breeding season. So we are confident that he will be ready for the task come season 1. So now what I want to do is put all these girls side by side. And I do this for a reason. It takes the emotion out of everything. It's very easy to say, well, this is my favorite animal, or she is the most beautiful. She has the most recessive genes. This combination will bring me the most money. All those things may be true. But in light of that, the goal here is to breed animals and do it where the animals are not going to suffer or be put at risk. So when we put all the animals side by side, it's very easy for us to tell, based on these percentages, which animals have the best possibility of not only breeding and being successful, but do it in a way that they are healthy and can breed for us again next season. So the girls in green and the male, those are going to be our pairings for year 1. Ball python number 1 and ball python number 3 that are in red, I just don't feel that they are ready for season 1. Now again, could that change in 10 months if their body condition improves? It could, but we are making a plan. We're going to stick to our parameters, so we will not be breeding those 2 animals in year 1. Now that we have our season 1 stock, let's look at the actual breeding pairs. So we only have 1 male, so every breeding pair is going to be consistent with our male that is clown, pied, pastel. And our first combination is he is going to breed our female, which is a standard visual clown. And you can see when they mate, we have the possibility of getting a 50-50 turnout as far as pastel, clown, 100% het pieds, and then clown het pieds. Now, as I mentioned in this vlog series, we are going off the assumption that each female will produce 4 viable eggs. So based on 4 eggs, we have the 50-50 chance of getting either of these combinations. So you will see here I have 2 columns, one that says current price and one that says estimated future price. So how I came up with the current price is very simple. I went onto Morph Market, I went under the sold section, and I looked for these equivalent animals and seeing what they're currently selling for. So right now, a pastel clown 100% het pied sells for about $750. The same with the clown het pied, $750. Some of you may be thinking, well, one of those animals have the pastel gene, one doesn't? Why are they the same price? And to be honest with you, if you actually look at the comparables, the animals that have sold, there really is not much of a difference in this price. Pastel is a very common gene. It is in many collections all over the world. And unless your pastel is really doing something extraordinary and amplifying that specific animal, most likely you're not going to get that much more money for the added gene. However, as I've said before, I am putting this project together with a very conservative method. So if you are able to sell your pastel for $50 more, that's just extra money towards the bottom line, and it makes our return on investment even better. Now let's talk a little bit about how I came up with the future price. So the current price is what animals are selling for today. And in our industry, there's one thing you definitely need to understand is that new genes are popping up all the time. New combinations are being made. That recessive gene that came out 5 years ago is going to be less expensive this year than it was last year. So in order to get an estimated future price, what I have done is taking 20% from the current price. Again, this may be a lot to some people, but it's my method of being conservative. If we can sell it for more, that's awesome. But in all of our estimated pricing for our animals, I am going to go off a 20% discount from the current prices. What are the results of this mating combination? We're going to get 4 animals. 2 are pastel clown het pieds and 2 will be clown het pieds. Again, the current price would be $750, so multiply that by 2 is $1,500, and if I can estimate what I think I'll sell these animals for a year down the road, I'm going to be able to sell them for about $600 each. Okay, so that brings our total revenue for this combination to be $2,400. And revenue is the income without including expenses. So just remember that. So this is the money that we're taking in, but we do have expenses that are also involved. This is breeding combination number 2. So as you can see, the male, again, is a clown pied pastel, and the female is a blade clown. So in their mating, they have the possibility of producing a blade clown pastel 100% het pied, a pastel clown 100% het pied, a blade clown 100% het pied, and a clown 100% het pied. They have a 25% chance of producing each of these animals. I have seen that the current price on these animals range from anywhere between $750 and $850. So based on that information, we're going to take 20% off of those numbers, and our range a year later is going to be anywhere between $600 and $680. So that should produce a total revenue of $2,560 for these animals. So let's talk about the last breeding combination for season 1. We have our male, which is clown pied pastel, mating with our female clown het pied. Now this is definitely our most gene-packed combination, so let's see what we're going to come up with. We can come up with pastel clown pieds, pastel clown 100% het pieds, clown pieds, and clown 100% het pieds. So again, we're getting some double visuals here. So as you'll see, the current prices are going to move up quite a bit. So the pastel clown pieds, current prices are around $2,850, and the pastel clown 100% het pieds go for around $750. So this breeding combination should yield us a total revenue of approximately $5,760. Now that we've taken a look at all 3 breeding combinations and have a good understanding of not only which animals can be produced, but the prices that we think we could sell them for, let's take a look and see how our investment turned out for year 1. So we have our male to the left, the 3 females that he bred to the right, and then the estimated revenue for each mating. So again, from top to bottom, the first mating pair was $2,560, the second was $5,760, and the third $2,400. So I am estimating that our total revenues for year 0 and year 1 is $10,720. Now that's important to remember. In year 0, we did not produce any production, okay? We spent money setting up the project, feeding our animals, buying our animals. It was only until year one, and actually the end of year one, where we're actually going to start seeing some revenue flow in. So now let's take a look at our costs for years 0 and 1. As we went over in one of our last segments of this vlog series, our cost for years 0 and 1 came to a total of $16,703. So if you take the $10,720 and subtract that from $16,703, we come up with a total profit for year 0 and year 1 of negative $5,983. Yes, you heard me correctly. We just took a loss of $5,983. Now, some of you may be thinking, what's going on here? You have a vlog series that talks about 90% returns. We just spent 2 years raising these animals, breeding these animals, taking care of the offspring, and you're telling me that we're losing almost $6,000 in year 2? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. But if you tune in for segment 5 of our vlog series, you will start to see how the profits will start to roll in over the next couple years of Project Clown.